Alrighty, what is going on YouTube? It's your boy White Album here, and welcome back to some more Holy Night. Before I get started, I actually forgot to mention this in my MK11 video, but your boy finally got his PC in. If you're wondering what it is an Alienware Aurora R14 Ryzen Edition. And if you know what that means, it's pretty good. And if you don't, it doesn't really matter. But as long as I got a PC, that's all that matters to me. The only thing I did do to it was I upgraded the SSD to a terabyte. And man, let me tell you, that was very stress-inducing considering I never worked with PCs before, and especially just trying to replace, two screws and a part. But every video I was watching was like, ground yourself. That way you don't fucking electrocute yourself and the whole house explodes or some shit like that. But I got it to work, and then there was a whole other problem where because it didn't have the OS in it, I was like freaking the fuck out to why that shit wasn't working. But then I downloaded Windows OS onto it, and everything's working like a beauty. So, and I'm finally happy, man, because then I could do like long hour sessions and then just recording sessions without worrying about my laptop exploding on me. But yeah, I mean, that's just kind of it. I'm happy with it. Looks awesome. Looks fucking sick. And another thing, just to finish that topic, for these Holy Night videos and coinciding with my Persona videos, do you guys prefer 30 minutes or, an hour? Because, 30 minutes, it's probably like you could watch it kind of quickly and just sit there. An hour, you just sit there and just have it play in the background. You know, like I sometimes there's times where I want to do 30 just so I could get a video out there, but the reason why I do hour-long videos is just so I can get get to the game a little bit longer without having to have a shit ton of parts on the video. That way by the end of the of this game I'm not like on like part 65 or something like that, which is probably going to happen with Persona because I think that's a pretty long game. I'm not even that deep into it, but I don't know. If you guys, just let me know whether you want to. I mean, I'm okay doing 30. I'm okay doing an hour. I could probably split down the middle and do 45 minutes. But other than that, I mean, that's just kind of it for the two topics I had in mind. But let's see here. Last time we left off, Alice and Aoka were just being straight up fucking mean to Sojiro. And I'll be honest with you guys, if you couldn't tell from my attitude last video, on my last Holy Night video, bro, I was genuinely getting annoyed with them. It's like, come on now. Hopefully things start turning up a little bit better for the homeboy Sojiro. So here we go. Got my water ready to keep my mouth nice and moist. I know there's people that don't like that word, but suck it up. Is this where I left off? Hopefully, let's see. Quick load.
Also,
if the video is let me restart that. As of like the last few videos that I'm doing, coinciding my my last two MK videos and this video here, instead of using Elgato, I am using OBS to record. So it's gonna be a little different. Hopefully it is a bit better than Elgato. For some reason, the application for Elgato is acting very strange. I won't get into that whole ordeal, but I am recording off of OBS, and so far, so good. But here we go. If that's how it's going to be, then, oh well. Even if he did not seem to like it, he had thought it through in his own way and come clear to a resolution.
Okay,
down to business.
監視するとは言ったけど、どうやって宗十郎を監視するのか。そもそもあなたを監視する原因になった魔術とは何なのか。そのあたり、ざざっと説明させてもらうわ。
Sorry if you hear me crunching on ice. So, I know we said that you'd be under supervision, but we haven't really talked about how we'll be doing that, or the magecraft that is responsible for enforcing it. Let me start with a brief explanation. Perhaps he was brought up to listen closely to lectures about new information because Sojiro suddenly looked attentive. Alice, on the other hand, kept her mouth shut in silence, or in silent defiance. Ooh.
最初に言っておくと、あんたをここに住まわせる期限は決まってるから。
First off, the time you'll be made to live here has been predetermined.
要はその期限まで誰にも私たちのことを喋らず、また勝手に死ななければ晴れて自由の身ってこと。
In short, until the end of that period, if you don't tell anyone about us or die for some reason, you're free to go. So what happens if you just spontaneously combust? What are you gonna do there, you know?
ね、そうよね、アリス。
Good. Alright, good so far, Alice.
そうね。私たちを怒らせなければ、そういう可能性もあるわね。
Indeed. Provided he refrains from angering us, that is, he has a chance of survival.
よし、
Not his
い
choice.
きなり話が食い違ってる。
Yep, this is already off on the wrong foot, dude. Sojiro, bro, you don't understand how much I am with you through and through all this, my man. Sojiro's head dropped, like he knew that was coming.
ちょっと黙ってて、アリス。
That's enough, Alice.
あとあんたも黙ってろ。
And you, shut up. She scowled at the two of them, already off her wit's end.
話を続けるけど、
As I was saying,
秘密保持のためにあんたを住まわせる場合、二次災害はどうしても避けられない。
having you live with us for the sake of confidentiality means other problems are bound to come up.
同じ家にいる以上、余計に秘密を見せることになるからね。アリスはそれが嫌なんだろうけど。
You'll likely be exposed to even more of our secrets. That's what has Alice so bent out of shape. Again, you could have just let him go, but you want to be a fucking stubborn about it and basically hold this man hostage, you know? It's not his fault for what happened at the park. I've already expressed this many a times, on and off recording. Now that Aoko mentioned it, Sojiro could see her point. With her target of observation under house arrest, the disclosure of more confidential information was inevitable.
ちょっと待ってくれ。堂々巡りじゃないか、それ。
Hold on a second. Doesn't that make me being here a little counterproductive? Yes. Yes, it does.
大丈夫、問題ないわ。だって最後にはここで暮らした記憶ごと私たちのことを忘れてもらうことにしたから。
It's not a problem. In the end, we'll just have you forget everything about us and about living here at all. So if you can fucking do that in the first place, why didn't you, like, you're mages, don't you have like memory erasure spells or some shit like that? Like, come on, I'm pretty sure fucking Harry Potter has that shit. I'm pretty sure you fuckers have that shit too, right? Like, there ain't no way he's got to live here where he could just be like, you know, fucking abracadabra, you don't remember us, and boom. Sojiro's like, hey, what's up, guys? Why am I here?
忘れてもらう？
Have me forget.
そう、公園での一件から丸ごと全部忘れてもらう。
Right. From the incident in the park onward, you'll forget everything.
ルーンっていう魔術系統があるんだけどね。その中でサクッと記憶を忘れさせるものがあるのよ。
There's a kind of magecraft that called runes that have the power to make one forget memories. Then why aren't you using that in the fucking first place instead of having this man held hostage? What?
非人道的であるのは変わらないけど、ま、命を消す代わりに記憶を消すってことで妥協して。
Okay, so what you're telling me is instead of doing this, which is erasing memories, you're already going to the second level and just straight up killing people who find out you guys are mages. What? Okay. Oh man. Yeah, if you can't tell, I'm fucking annoyed at this shit. It's a bit inhumane, but erasing memories seem a bit better than, well, erasing your life.
青崎、それは。
Do I get a say in?
悪いけど反論は却下。
Sorry, but no objections.
で、肝心の忘却のルーンなんだけど、私もアリスも専門外だから文献を探して習得するのに時間がかかる。
Anyway, an amnesia rune is outside of our field of expertise, so it's going to take some time for us to find the rune and learn everything about it. I mean, sure, whatever, that makes sense, even though Alice is technically supposed to be better than you and everything, I will go, but sure, whatever.
つまり、それが監視の期限ってわけ。
In other words, that's when you get to leave. He's going to be there for like the next 15 years.
私たちが忘却のルーンを見つけるまで、命を担保に口を閉じていてもらうわ。
Until we find this rune, we're using your life as collateral, so you keep your mouth shut.
アリスはそんなややこしいことはせずに、五感全部壊してしまおうなんて言ってるけど。
Alice's idea is that we destroy your five senses and be done with you to avoid the extra effort.
しずきくん、リビングスタチューとか嫌でしょ？
So, Shizuki, what do you say? Fancy becoming a living statue? Sojiro only understood about 80% of what Aoko had explained, and the last part about living as a statue had gone straight over his head. He tried his best to visualize what Aoko was going on about, but the only thing he could conjure in his mind was an image of the mascot creature Kitsy.
それは確かに嫌だな。
Yeah, I'd rather not. Aoko agreed with the bewildered Sojiro, neither one the wiser to the other's misinterpretation.
とにかく、遅くても1ヶ月で忘却のルーンは見つけ出せるだろうし、1回きりの実行なら、プラス2ヶ月ぐらいでなんとかなるわ。
Anyway, Amaso will probably take about a month to find this amnesia rune, and another 2 to put it to use.
それまであんたにはここで暮らしてもらうわけだけど、私たちについて無知のまま歩き回られると、命の保証はできないのよ。
Until then, that means you'll be living with us. However, we can't just let you wander around without a clue what's going on. That's a surefire way to get yourself killed. Another thing, doesn't Alice have a fucking bird? Like, I'm pretty sure during the what is it? What am I thinking of? The fight at Kitsyland, didn't she have a little blue bird that was doing some observational skills? Can't you just have that thing fucking follow him? Okay. Again, doesn't make sense, but sure, whatever.
そっちもこっちの事情を知らないのは気持ち悪いだろうし。なんで、今から簡潔に現代の魔法使いの何たるかを教えてあげる。
I doubt you would be comfortable being left in the dark about us either. So starting now, I'm going to fill you in on what it's like being a modern magician.
それで少しは私たちへの勘違いもなくなるだろうし。
At the very least, it'll hopefully prevent any more misunderstandings. Not that she thought this country bumpkin had any idea of old or new anyway. The thought brought a smug grin to her lips.
洋館のことは後にして、まずは私たちの立場についてね。
Let's leave a tour of the mansion for later. To start with, who and what mages are.
でも1から100まで理解する必要はないから。
And don't worry, you don't need to understand everything right away.
どうせ門外漢なんだし、感じ入ったことだけしっかり噛み締めておきなさい。
You're an outsider, after all, so just bite off only what you can chew. Sojiro nodded obediently to Aoko's professional instructions. Professorial. What? Professor... What? Professor... Yeah, you didn't forget it. This was Aoko's way of telling him not to ask questions when he did not understand something. And though Sojiro had taken issue with her statement, he meekly obeyed, knowing better than to object now. Aoko nodded approvingly at his attentiveness, and started her lecture. Her long, long lecture. God, I hope we're not part of this.
まず魔術
Oh
師、
God.
魔法使いの話からね。
Let's start with the mages, magicians, basically.
魔術と魔法の違いは、宗十郎には関わりのない話だからしないけど、それぞれ別種のものだと思ってくれればいいわ。
Since it doesn't concern you, I'll skip part about how magecraft and magic are not the same. All you need to remember is that they are two different things.
で、魔術師のことだけど、これは絶対条件として隠された存在でなくてはならないの。
Mages, as an absolute rule, must operate in secrecy. Yeah, we know.
同業者に知られるのは仕方ないとしても、あなたみたいに関わりのない人間に知られるのは罪にあたる。ほとんど死罪クラスのね。
I'm sorry, was I interrupting you, Alka? Okay. Naturally, mages will find out about other mages, so it's only a crime if an outsider like you finds out about one of us. A crime punishable by death, I should add. Again, not his fault.
なぜかっていうと、魔術ってのは隠されていないと力が薄れてしまうものだから。
The reason being that the more magecraft is exposed, the weaker it becomes. So again, if it wasn't Sojiro who found them and say maybe like a 6 or 7 year old, hypothetically speaking, a 6 or 7 year old like boy or girl, would they kill them? You know? Just a question. I'm wondering. Is it just because the kid found out what the hell they were doing? They're like, well, gotta kill a kid now. I wouldn't be surprised if like older mages were not opposed to that. You know, as long as magecraft was kept in secret, it doesn't matter. But hey,
神秘の語源は閉ざすというギリシャ語だけど、魔術は限られた水着でなければ魔術でなくなってしまう。
you'll often hear us say mystic or mystery, which comes from a Greek word that means to shut the mouth. It follows that magecraft would cease to be if its secrets were revealed.
文明にとって未知なるもの、未開なるものは開かれていないからこそ恐怖に値するのと同じね。
Civilization has always treated the unexplored and the unknown as things to be feared because of their mysterious nature.
知られたら迫害されるから隠す、じゃないの。
But we don't hide ourselves because we fear prosecution if we were discovered. I mean, I won't blame her there. Look what happened at the Salem witch trial, so.
未知で亡くなった魔術師というより魔術ね。
What we fear is all mages, or more importantly, magecraft.
明かされた魔術は力を弱めてしまう。だから隠匿するのよ。何より私たちの未来のために。
Being weakened by our arts are revealed. So by protecting our secrecy, we're also protecting our own future. Sure.
魔術の仕組みはよくわからないけど、とにかく自分だけの秘密でないと弱くなるってことか。
I'm not clear on how magecraft works yet, but I think what you're saying is that if you don't keep it a secret, it gets weaker. Then that's probably one of the shittiest powers to fucking get, let's be honest here.
じゃあ、青崎も弱くなってるのか？俺が見ちゃったから。
So then, does that mean you got weaker now that I saw you, Ozaki?
いいえ、別に。
No, not particularly.
ここからはちょっと込み入った話でね。
Let me explain in a little bit more detail.
弱くなるっていうのはあくまで全体。それも随分と未来の話。個人単位では関係のない話よ。
When I say it loses power, I mean magecraft as a whole will get weaker in the future. I'm not talking about individuals.
汝、隠匿すべしって不分律は、この大元の仕組みが形骸化して、いつの間にか絶対のルールになっているだけなの。
The unwritten law that thou shalt conceal thyself was an adage from a bygone era, but at some point it became a law of the highest order.
文明社会の法律と一緒よ。犯罪、不道徳を罰するのは、人間的であろうとする意識の高さと、それとは全く別の全体の仕組みを守るための構造的な結論でしょ。
As law is like in a civilized society, we like to think that it's human nature to punish crime and immorality. But ultimately, a structural solution is needed to maintain order. Yeah, but if I steal a loaf of bread, they're not gonna fucking kill me. That's the thing.
犯罪が罰せられるのは、野放しにしたら、せっかく築いた社会がうまく機能しなくなるから。
If crimes were left unpunished, the society we strive so hard to build would collapse.
で、私たちにとって犯罪にあたるのは、神秘の一般化、低俗化であって、不道徳とか殺人とかは、まあ、それぞれの良心次第ってことで、基本的に罪にもならない。
And what we may just consider to be a crime is dissemination and vulgarization of the mystic. Merely immoral things like murder, well, those are a matter of perspective, and they generally aren't considered outright crimes.
そんなろくでもない連中にルールを敷いたのが魔術協会っていう集まり、組合みたいなものよ。
The good-for-nothing bunch responsible for imposing this law is a group called the Mages Association. Think of them as a labor union. Okay.
魔術を普及の神秘とせよというのは、魔術を魔術として永続させるために敷いたルールに過ぎないわ。
The phrase, make eternal the mysticism of magecraft, is nothing more than a rule they created to perpetuate magecraft itself.
けど、その原則は絶対でさ。
Nevertheless, the rule is absolute.
これを破った者は、魔術世界にはいられなくなる。
Those who violate it cease to exist in the magical world, but he's not a magical being.
いえ、実際問題とし
As
て、
far as I know.
生きていくのが困難になる。
Or rather, it would be difficult for them to go on living at all.
私たちは私たちの、まあ、魔術師としての命
For us, that's our, well, our life as mages, I guess.
そういうのを守るために、目撃者であるあんたを消さなくちゃいけなかった。
In order to protect it, we had no choice but to erase you, the witness to our magecraft.
そこ、同情とかしなくていいから。私たちの事情を知ったぐらいで、遊園地のことを帳消しにしないでよ。
Don't give me those puppy dog eyes. Just because you know a little about our lives doesn't mean we're fessing up to what happened at the amusement park.
私たちは私たちの判断で、あんたを殺そうとしたんだから。誰彼のせいってわけじゃない。
It was our decision to try and kill you. It wasn't anyone else's fault. It was, do you not know cause and effect, Aoko? It was cause of you and Alice doing shit at the park that the effect was you trying to kill fucking Sojiro. Come on now. Let's be fucking real here, Aoko.
恨むなら、きちんと私を恨んでちょうだい。
So if you're gonna blame anyone, blame me. If she talks about the park and about blaming herself, look, I'll accept that. But that's it. Nothing else.
それはともかく。
What a weird fade transition, but sure, game. Okay, back to the topic.
過去、魔術師は職業として成り立ったぐらい、社会に認知されていたけど、その魔術自体は、墓まで持っていく秘密だった。
In the past, mages were recognized in society enough for it to be considered an occupation, but they took their own magecraft with them to their graves.
それがどう歪んだかは知らないけど、現代ではその職業すら秘密にしなくてはならなくなった。
I don't know what led to things getting so twisted, but even the profession itself has to be kept secret these days.
そこまでしないと、遠い未来、魔術すら消費するだけのものに解体されると、教会は恐れたのよ。
If they didn't go that far, the association feared that in the distant future, magecraft would be used up and the association would fall apart.
自然界の仕組みも、かつて天上の領域だった宇宙の運営すら、私たちは人知で解き明かせるほどになった。
We have reached the point where everything became explainable through human knowledge. From the building blocks of nature to the fabric of the cosmos, once considered to be the realm of the gods.
人の手に余るもの。神秘という未知の領域にとって、魔術が最後の砦になると、教会の設立者は信じたのかもしれない。
Maybe the founders believed that magecraft would be the last bastion for the unknown, for mystics that which is beyond human reach.
それとも、魔術なんてもう意味がないって達観したのかもね。
Or maybe they thought that in the long run, magecraft would eventually become meaningless.
そんなわけで、魔術師はその正体を隠して、各々の秘技を伝えていった。他人に教えるわけにはいかないから、必然的にその伝承者は子孫になる。
Whatever the reason, mages hid their identities and passed on their individual rituals in secret. And since they couldn't pass it on to outsiders, it was only natural that they taught it to their descendants.
私もアリスも、そうやって何代か続いた連中の末なのよ。
Alice and I are both products of generations of lineage.
さっき言った魔術協会っていうのは、そんな細々と続いてる連中を束ねる一大組織。魔術師にとって司法の神ってところかしらね。
The Mages Association I mentioned earlier is a vast organization that governs those magecraft wielders who still dedicated to their field. Mages think of them as their ruling body.
教会もいろんな派閥に分かれるんだけど、大抵の魔術師はロンドンの魔術協会に属している。汝隠匿すべしっていうのも、教会の三大原則の一つよ。
The association is actually made up of a bunch of factions, and the vast majority of mages are affiliated with the London chapter. The law to conceal ourselves was one of their three main principles.
魔術師が一般人に秘密を漏らすと、教会から罰が下される仕組みになっている。
If a magician reveals their secret to a civilian, the association is quick to make an example of them.
そんな罰なんかなくても、自分と血族が伝えた魔術のために、目撃者は消さないといけないんだけど。
But even if the mage doesn't get punished, the witness should still be eliminated to protect the mage and their family's magecraft. Again, is this just anybody? That's the problem here. That's the one, because that rule could be easily twisted. You know, like sure, again, okay, I understand Sojiro. You know, same age and makes sense, right? His family lives in the mountains, so if he died, they probably would have never known. But again, like, what happens if it was an elderly person or a child? Is it still within the rule to kill them? That's the thing that I don't like. It's like, sure, you could be like, well, you could kind of say, well, yeah, I mean, it's to anybody who witnesses it. Doesn't matter if they're man, woman, child, or elderly. It doesn't matter. They have to be eliminated. That's just the whole process that to me does not work. And I don't know. That can go into a whole argument and ordeal there that I don't want to go into. All right, here we go. Back at the story. And that was the end of the first part of the lecture. Alko paused for a moment. Sojiro was doing his best to process the information.
次行くけど、いい？
Ready to move on?
いいけど、その前に確認したい。
Sure, but let me see if I understand so far.
魔術師が正体を隠すのは自分のためじゃなく魔術のためだったけど、最近では自分の正体を隠すことの方が重要になっている。
Mages used to hide their identities not for their own sake, but for the sake of magecraft. Now, they're more concerned with hiding themselves.
そして、その決まりを破ると、教会というところからお咎めが来る。
And if you break the rules, you'll be punished by a place called the Association.
つまり、青崎たちもその教会に入っているのか？
Does that mean that you two are members of the Association?
いいえ、私たちはフリーよ。一応教会とつながりはあるけどね。
No, we're freelance, though we walk in similar circles.
単純に、教会は最大勢力ってだけ。連中は頼まれもしないのに、魔術世界全体の秩序を守ってるの。
They're simply the largest organized group. Even though no one asked them to, they've taken upon themselves to police the world of magecraft.
だから私たちが何であれ、彼らとの関わりがないにしても、魔術師としての決まりを破ったら罰しに来るわ。
So no matter how unaffiliated we are as mages, if we break the rules, we'll get punished anyway.
わかった。大体飲み込めた。
Okay? I think I got the gist of it.
よしよし。そうやって自分に必要な部分だけ手に入れなさい。
It's alright. Just focus on the parts important to you.
じゃ、次は魔術について。と言っても、私自身語れるほど学んでいないんだけどね。
Next is magecraft, though I barely learned enough to talk about it myself.
ん？
Huh?
ごめん、こっちの話だから忘れて。
Sorry, forget I said that.
さっきも言ったけど、現代において、魔術は無意味なものになりつつある。
I touched on this already, but these days, magecraft is losing its meaning.
ライターのない大昔なら、火を起こせれば、それは魔術として成り立つわ。けど今は、何かと便利でしょ？あなたならよくわかると思うけど。
If you created a fire long ago, when there were no lighters, that was enough to court as a mystic feat. But nowadays, life is awfully convenient, right? You of all people can appreciate that. Sojiro nodded with a glum look on his face. Is she alluding to the fact that he's a mountain man? That he probably uses lanterns and shit like that? Yeah, there it is. He had been made painfully aware of such conveniences. Yeah, again. Difficult tasks that would occupy an entire day of work in the mountains could be performed easily here. For him, having been brought up in the mountains without electricity or running water, city life was by definition magic. He only wished it not to be such back-breaking work to adapt to said conveniences.
あ、
Uh,
でも、道具を使わずに火を起こせるのは神様の仕事だと思うけど。
I do think that creating fire without tools should be a god's job, though.
そのために積み重ねた手間は、火炎放射器を手に入れるより面倒だとしても？
Even though we worked about how to do it more effectively with the flamethrower. I mean, yeah, but if you're trying to light a campfire, I feel like that's overkill, right? Come on, Aoko. Sojiro wasn't sure how to answer Aoko. It would have been pretty easy for him to ask Aoko how much accumulated effort she thought it had taken humans to imitate these gods, but he knew it would come across as an insult.
さっきのを見る限り、魔術ってのは何でもできると思ったけど、それは誤解なのか。
From what I just saw, I was under the impression that magecraft could do anything, but maybe I misunderstood. He glanced at the glass bottle on the table. Mentally, he sighed in relief. He had still not come to terms with the fact that he had been trapped inside that tiny thing. However,
あら、それこそ誤解よ。万能じゃなければ誰が魔術なんて学ぶと思ってるの？
oh, that's a misunderstanding, all right. If magecraft wasn't all powerful, why would why would anyone bother to learn it? But here's the thing, if somebody tried to fucking learn it, it gets weaker. That's okay. Okay, so what happens when said descendant dies? Okay? Is that family lineage zilch over? You're gonna have to teach it to somebody new. Like, come on now, like, regardless of not if you're trying to secure the future of fucking magecraft, by the time you get to that future, there's probably not enough mages to fucking go around. That's the thing. Like, I don't get it. Like, say fucking Aoko died in a car crash. Besides her sister, who else is there? Unless her sister has a kid and fucking her sister has a kid and her sister taught the kid magic. You know, what would happen? Like, I don't get it. What happened if they both fucking die? Like, what goes on there? Is the Aozaki lineage just done in zilch? Like, that shit just doesn't make sense. Okay? But whatever. Aoko puffed out her chest as she chided him.
手間暇かかるけど、魔術にできないことはないわ。
It might take some doing, but there's nothing magecraft can't do.
中には、できていないけどできているように見せる。みたいな、何らかのイカサマはあるけどね。
Granted, some users are able to trick you into thinking something's possible when it really isn't.
この世界に生まれた以上、その許容範囲でできないことなんてないの。そこで魔法が出てくるんだけど、それはまた改めて。
But since we're both born in this world, there's nothing we can't do within its limits. Besides true magic, of course, but we'll get into that some other time.
私が言いたかったのは、魔術は奇跡を起こしているのではなくて、その過程が奇跡だってこと。
What I'm trying to say is that magecraft doesn't create miracles. It's only the process that's miraculous.
結果が奇跡になるのは魔法の方なの。
To produce a real miracle, you need true magic.
偉大な魔術師っていうのは、個人の魔術だけで旅客機飛ばしたりする人のこと。
A great mage is someone who can fly a passenger jet with only their own magecraft.
対して偉大な魔法使いっていうのは、今不可能なことを可能にする人のことよ。
Meanwhile, a magician deals in making the impossible possible.
そういった意味じゃ、私たちは最後の魔法使いになるかもしれないけどね。
Which is why we might just turn out to be the last magicians.
脱線してるわよ、青子。
Focus, Aoko. Alice had been quietly listening until she muttered her rebuke, as if Aoko had crossed the line.
そこまで教える必要はないでしょう。
He doesn't need to know that.
しずきくんに教えるべきことは、私たちと暮らす上で危険になることだけじゃなかった。
Shouldn't we be educating Suzuki on the dangers of living with us?
悪かったわ。ちょい口滑らせた。
Sorry, you're right. Slip of the tongue.
ともかく、魔術師っていうのは、暇さえあれば魔術の実験をしてる連中で、自分の家系が伝えてきた秘技を守るためなら、鬼でも悪魔にでもなる。
Anyway, mages spend every waking moment experimenting in magecraft. It would become devils in a heartbeat in order to protect their magecraft. By which I mean their family secrets.
必然、そのアジト。工房って言うんだけど、工房も魔術的な機構が積み重なって、要塞みたいになっちゃうのよ。
Their layers, which we'll call workshops, are like fortresses packed with all kinds of magical mechanisms.
秘技を守るために、入ってきた相手を問答無用で叩きのめす仕掛けとか。
Like traps that kill intruders before they even know what hit them. It's all to protect our secrets.
この洋館もそういった工房と同じなの。
This mansion is no different.
不用心に歩き回ってさっきみたいなことになったら私でも助けてあげられないから暗闇には気をつけなさい。気がついたら鏡の中にいるとか本気であるから。
If you wind up trapped like you were before because you wandered around carelessly, even I won't be able to help you. So be careful of the dark. You might even find yourself stuck inside of a mirror. Seriously, that can actually happen. Sojiro so hoped they would provide him with a general idea of what to watch out for. But he passed, knowing that he would unlikely get a straight answer.
枝葉から入っちゃったけど、要は私たちのプライベートに関わるなってこと。
That was a lot to take in one go. But my point is, keep your nose out of where it doesn't belong.
いくら最後には記憶を消すって言っても、それを見られた段階で消すしかないものもあるから。
Even though we're going to erase your memory in the end, there are still things that we'd have to kill you for seeing.
なるほど。この中にもルールがあることはよくわかった。他に注意すべきことは。
Got it. The mansion has rules I should follow. I understand. Is there anything else I should? His eyes wandered as he trailed off mid-sentence, pondering. He understood that the mansion was more dangerous than outside, and that Magecraft needed to stay secret. But the explanation seemed to contradict his current problem. For starters, how would he manage to witness something they took such pain to keep hidden?
すまない。話の腰を折るんだけど。
If this is where it's going, ooh, Sojiro, tell me you're gonna say to them what I've been fucking saying this whole time. Please tell me. I hope he says it. Here we go. I'm sorry. It just occurred to me.
魔術師は教会という組織で結ばれてるんだろ？なら、どうして青崎はあんな人形に襲われたんだ？
Mages are all united under the organization called the Association, right? If that's the case, why were you attacked by that puppet, Alzaki?
あれの持ち主が魔術師なら、君たちは味方同士で争っていることになる。何か説明が不足していないか？
If its master was a mage, wouldn't that mean you were fighting an ally? Or am I missing something here? Okay, not what I thought he was going to say, but sure.
それは最後にしようと思ってたのよ。
I was saving that for last.
普通はここまでの話だけで眉唾者っていうか笑い飛ばすっていうか。
Normally, this would be the point of the story where you'd say, I made it up, or laugh it off.
いくら経験済みだからって魔術なんてもんをあっさり受け入れるなんてできないっていうか。
Even if you experienced it, the existence of magecraft shouldn't be something you accept so easily. Alko scratched her head as though troubled by how Sojiro could take every word at face value. Man, my man, he's a simple man. Come on now. Across from her, Alice's face betrayed no expression, but she shared the same opinion.
ん？おかしいのか？それ。
He's like, is that so weird?
おかしいわよ。そもそもあんたは第一ステップから変だった。
It's mega weird. In fact, you've been weird from the get-go.
普通は驚いたり怖がったり無視したりするものなのに、どうして魔法使いだなんて言った私を信じたの？
A normal person would be shocked, scared, unwilling to accept our existence. Why do you, of all people, believe me when I say I'm a magician? He fucking saw you shoot lasers from your fucking fingers, Aoko. Are you fucking serious? What? If he saw that shit firsthand, I'd be like, yeah, that's some crazy shit there. But I mean, I saw you do it, so I believe you. The fuck? Like, what? Okay, whatever. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Let me take some water break real quick. In retrospect, this question should have been posed at the House of Mirrors. Back then, though Sojiro was surprised by seeing the phenomenon of magecraft for the first time, he showed no surprise or discomfort toward Oroku, the mage wielding it. Feeling the probing stares of the two girls, no, the two mages made Sojiro feel uneasy. From where he was standing, their suspicion was suspicious in and of itself.
なんでも何もない。青崎、山だよね。あるものはあるのが当たり前なんだよ。
No, there's no reason at all, really. Up in the mountains, people just accept things as they are.
理由をつけられるだけの知識がなかったからにしても、実際に見たものを信じないなんてことはないんだ。
We don't deny something we see in front of us just because we don't have the knowledge to explain it.
それに君も言ったろ。あなたにとっては魔法もライターも同じものなんだろうって。
You said it yourself. Lighters and magic might as well be the same thing, right? Though they weren't really the same to him anymore, he quietly added before shutting up. What he said about the innocent days in the mountains had come from the heart, as the words resonated not only to Aoko Ozaki, but to Alice Kuoji. It was something everyone should have, principles to stand by. Indeed, to this boy, those words were an unshakable truth.
あるものはあるか。
Some things are the way they are. I see what you're saying. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense, right? It's like I guess Sojo's kind of explaining, yes, it's like the circle of life type shit. If I see a bear eat a salmon, it happened, She was impressed, if only slightly. If this boy, no matter how much of an outlier he was, could accept the things around him, he'd be able to get through this just fine.
そうね。宗十郎はそうなのよね。
That's a good way of explaining it, Sojiro.
簡単に信じてもらえることが信じられない。なんて、私たちの方がどうかしてたわ。
I guess the fault's with us for not believing in you sincerely. Well, it's your fault to begin with anyway, so... You guys are the reason why he's here standing in front of you. Much like when Aoko met Sojiro for the first time. In that classroom on his first day, Sojiro took everything that was happening in his stride. The memory brought a bitter smile to Aoko's face.
Ja. 気を取り直してっと。
Alright, let's get back on track. Well, we'll get back on track next time when I play again. So, that's going to be it for today's video, you guys. Let's save real quick. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, my little bantering here and there about the principles that these two fucking mages have, and how their rules just make sense and don't make sense at the same time. Like, I get your secrecy, you want to keep it safe and everything, but where do you draw the line at? That's kind of like the whole problem with me. Sojiro, he accepted the fact that, yeah, you want to keep your shit secret, go ahead, kill me, fine. But again, where do you draw the line? Do you draw the line at just say a normal man, woman, or do you fucking, like, it's such a gray area of that rule of, like, there should be no witnesses. Again, is it just anybody? Man, woman, child, elderly? What if it was somebody fucking blind? Do you kill them right then and there? You probably couldn't because they're blind, but because they, I guess, were in the vicinity, do you still have to kill them? That's just the whole thing that just doesn't sit with me at all. And I was hoping that Sojiro would kind of bring it up, but he didn't. But, not to get off track here, but that's going to be it for today's video. Hope you guys did enjoy. And if you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. Click on the bell for notifications for whenever I upload. It's your boy White Album, signing out.